In the last 24 months, over 23 billion in wealth has evacuated New York City. And here's the shocking part. 67% of that money landed in one single destination. A city where penthouses are selling for $500 million, where tax savings alone can buy you a super yacht, and where America's wealthiest are rewriting the rules of luxury living. Welcome to the new capital of American wealth, Miami, Florida. I'm your host, and this is Inside the Wealth, where we decode the economics, real estate, and lifestyle of America's ultra-rich. If you're fascinated by where the money flows and why, hit that subscribe button now. Let's dive in. Let's start with a number that should make every New Yorker nervous. $23.8 billion. That's not a typo. According to recent data from wealth migration tracking firms, that's how much net worth left New York between 2023 and early 2025. We're not talking about middle-class families relocating for cheaper rent. We're talking about billionaires, hedge fund managers, private equity titans, and family offices, the people who actually move markets. And where did they go? Miami-Dade County became the single largest recipient of this wealth exodus, absorbing over $16 billion in declared net worth from New York alone. But this isn't just a New York story. California's ultra-wealthy are fleeing too. Los Angeles lost $8.2 billion. San Francisco another $6.7 billion. The pattern is unmistakable. America's highest earners are abandoning high-tax blue states for Florida's zero-income tax paradise. Now, you might be thinking people have been moving to Florida for decades. What's different now? Here's what's different: scale and speed. In 2019, the average net worth of someone relocating from Manhattan to Miami was approximately $12 million. In 2024, that number jumped to $47 million. We're not seeing retirees moving to Boca Raton anymore. We're seeing 35-year-old tech founders buying $30 million penthouses in Sunny Isles. We're seeing Wall Street legends purchasing entire floors in the Brickell Financial District. We're seeing a fundamental shift in where American wealth physically resides. The numbers tell an extraordinary story. Between January 2023 and December 2024, Miami-Dade County recorded over 240 real estate transactions exceeding $10 million each. That's one ultra-luxury sale every 3 days. Compare that to 2019, when the county saw maybe 80 such transactions for the entire year. The velocity of money moving into South Florida is not just impressive, it's unprecedented in American real estate history. And here's the kicker. This migration is accelerating, not slowing down. Every week, another bold-faced name announces their move. Every month, another record gets broken. In September 2024, a Surfside penthouse sold for $135 million, the highest residential sale in Florida history. 3 months later, that record was broken when an unnamed buyer paid $162 million for a combination of units in the Arte building on the Venetian Islands. We're watching wealth concentration happen in real time, and Miami is the epicenter. So let's talk about the elephant in the room: taxes. Because when you're earning 8 figures or more annually, tax strategy isn't just important, it's the single biggest factor in your financial decisions. And the mathematics of New York versus Florida are absolutely brutal for New York. Here's a real example. Let's say you're a hedge fund manager in Manhattan. You had a good year, you made $50 million, congratulations. Now let's calculate what you actually keep. Federal income tax at the top bracket, 37%, that's $18.5 million gone immediately. New York State income tax, 10.9%, another $5.45 million. New York City income tax, 3.876%, that's $1.94 million more. Add in the 3.8% net investment income tax on your carried interest, and you're looking at another $1.9 million. Total tax bill, approximately $27.79 million. You keep $21 million out of your $50 million. Your effective tax rate is 55.6%. Now, same person, same $50 million income, but they live in Miami. Federal tax, still $18.5 million. You can't escape the IRS. But state income tax, zero. City income tax, zero. The net investment income tax still applies, so that's $1.9 million. Total tax bill, $20.4 million. You keep $29.6 million. The difference, $7.39 million every single year. Let me repeat that. By simply changing your primary residence from New York to Florida, you save $7.39 million annually on a $50 million income. That's not avoiding taxes illegally. That's just basic geography. Over 10 years, that's $73.9 million in savings. That's a G650 private jet. That's a mega yacht. That's generational wealth preservation. And for the ultra-wealthy earning $100 million, $200 million or more per year, the savings become almost incomprehensible. But here's what makes this even more compelling. Florida has no estate tax either. New York's estate tax kicks in at $694 million, with rates up to 16%. For a billionaire family, that could mean hundreds of millions in estate taxes that simply don't exist in Florida. When you're thinking about legacy, about what you pass to your children and grandchildren, these numbers become existential. Now, New York defenders will argue, but you lose access to culture, restaurants, Broadway, museums, the energy of Manhattan. And look, that argument held weight 20 years ago. But today's Miami, it's not your grandfather's retirement community anymore. Miami has transformed into a legitimate global city with world-class dining, Art Basel, a thriving financial district, and a cosmopolitan culture that rivals anywhere in America. Plus, you're a 3-hour flight from New York whenever you want to visit. You can have the best of both worlds and keep an extra $7 million per year while doing it. The wealthy aren't stupid. They're not abandoning New York because they hate bagels. They're leaving because the mathematics are undeniable. And in the age of remote work and private aviation, physical location matters less than ever. Why pay a 55% effective tax rate when you can legally pay 40% and live somewhere with better weather, newer infrastructure, and zero state bureaucracy? Now let's talk about what this wealth migration has done to Miami's real estate market, because the numbers are absolutely staggering. Miami's luxury real estate market isn't just hot, it's operating in a completely different economic universe than the rest of America. In 2019, the most expensive home sale in Miami was $50 million. Fast forward to 2024, and we saw 11 transactions exceed $100 million, 11 in a single year. The ultra-luxury segment, properties above $25 million, saw inventory depleted by 67%. There literally aren't enough ultra-high-end properties to satisfy demand, which is why developers are now announcing projects with price tags that would have been laughable 5 years ago. Let's look at some specific examples. The Una Residences in Brickell, developed by Adrian Smith Pass Gordon Gill Architecture, features penthouses starting at $50 million. Not selling for $50 million, starting at $50 million. The building sold out its top-tier units within 6 months of announcement, mostly to New York and California transplants. Buyers didn't even wait to see finished units. They wired 8-figure deposits based on renderings alone. Then there's Bentley Residences in Sunny Isles Beach, the first residential project officially branded by the luxury automaker. The building's crown jewel, a 4-level penthouse spanning over 10,000 square feet, listed for $35 million and sold within weeks. The buyer, a former Manhattan hedge fund executive who told the listing agent he was saving more in annual taxes than his entire mortgage payment. Think about that. The tax savings alone exceed the cost of buying a $35 million penthouse. But perhaps the most telling example is what's happening in Surfside and the Venetian Islands. These aren't flashy neighborhoods. They're quiet, understated, family-oriented communities. Yet properties here are now trading for $4,000 to $6,000 per square foot. For context, that's Manhattan pricing. We're seeing tear-downs, literally condemned houses, selling for $25 to $30 million just for the land. Why? Because there's almost no oceanfront land left, and the wealthy are willing to pay almost any price for direct beach access with privacy. The condominium market tells an even more extreme story. The Ritz-Carlton residences in Miami Beach recently closed a sale at $4,200 per square foot, a Florida record for a condo. Porsche Design Tower, which made headlines years ago for its car elevators that bring your vehicles directly to your unit, has seen resale units appreciate by 140% since 2016. People who bought in early are sitting on 20 to 30 million appreciation just from being early to the Miami migration trend. And here's what's truly remarkable. Inventory is disappearing faster than developers can build. Despite hundreds of luxury units under construction, pre-sales are outpacing deliveries by a 3-to-1 margin. There are currently 47 ultra-luxury residential projects in various stages of development in Miami-Dade County, representing over $31 billion in total development value, and most are already 60–80% sold before breaking ground. What's driving this insatiable demand? It's not just taxes. It's the realization among the wealthy that Miami represents something unique in America right now, a city on the rise, not in decline. While New York and San Francisco battle homelessness, crime perception issues, and deteriorating public infrastructure, Miami feels new, optimistic, and business-friendly. The city is investing billions in infrastructure improvements, new highways, expanded transit, upgraded airports. The public schools in areas like Coral Gables and Pinecrest are actually good, which matters when you have children. And perhaps most importantly, the city government actively wants wealthy residents rather than treating them as targets for increased taxation. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. As more billionaires move to Miami, the city attracts better restaurants, more cultural institutions, stronger schools, and improved infrastructure, which then attracts even more wealthy residents. We're watching a flywheel effect that typically takes decades happen in just a few years. And the luxury real estate boom extends beyond just residential properties. Commercial real estate in Brickell's financial district has seen rental rates increase 89% since 2020. Wealthy families aren't just buying homes. They're moving their family offices, their businesses, their entire economic ecosystems to South Florida. When Citadel's Ken Griffin relocated his hedge fund headquarters to Miami in 2022, he didn't just move himself. He brought hundreds of high-earning employees, generating billions in economic activity. The message is clear. Miami isn't just winning the competition for wealthy individuals, it's winning the competition for entire wealth-generating institutions. And that transformation is reshaping American geography in profound ways. We've just scratched the surface of the most dramatic wealth migration in modern American history. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't just about real estate prices or tax savings. This is about the fundamental restructuring of where power, influence, and capital exist in the United States. Coming up in Part 2, we'll reveal which specific billionaires have made the move, what their new Miami mansions look like, and the hidden costs of ultra-luxury living that nobody talks about. Plus, I'll show you the emerging neighborhoods where the next 500 million in real estate transactions are about to happen. Areas you've probably never heard of, but where generational wealth is being built right now. Make sure you're subscribed to Inside the Wealth because this story is just beginning.